Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Snack School. I'm Jerry Simmons. I'm a longtime SNAC collaborator and former lead of the Snack School in my former position at the National Archives and Records Administration. I am now a SNAC volunteer. With me today on the virtual podium is a longtime SNAC friend, Jodi Berkowitz. Jodi is a technical services archivist at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She arranges and describes collections, writes finding aids, and performs MARC cataloging for the archival section in the technical services department. She's been involved with SNAC for almost 9 years, first as an editor and then joining the SNAC school team and editorial standards working groups more recently. Jodi will be leading instruction for modules 1 and 2 today. So I am going to turn it over to Jodi. I'm going to mute my camera.
Hey everyone. So I'm just going to share my slides for Module 1. I can find them. Oh, sorry. All right. Everyone's seeing some slides, well, at least the beginning of a slide, of a slide deck. We're actually not going to spend too much time looking at slides for this module. So Module 1 offers an introduction for new SNAC editors and partners to all the basic information and materials found on the SNAC members portal. We're also going to take a tour of the portal's highlights during this module, and that's going to be the bulk of this. As I move through the portal demonstration, you can follow along, and materials found on the SNAC members portal. We're going to take a tour of these highlights during this module. So you can follow along and click through, but a lot of this stuff is going to make so much more sense once you have done more of the create and edit modules that Jerry's going to do in a bit, and you'll see that there. I'm going to drop a link in the chat to the portal. I can do that. Great. Sorry. Are you seeing the portal now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. All right. So here, let's walk through this entire SNAC portal and especially the SNAC school section. We'll see what it contains and how it's going to help you in class and while editing. Here, you don't need to log into the portal. This portal has is resources for anyone who's just curious about SNAC, wants to consult SNAC. It's not behind any kind of login. And I'll be in this portal for the rest of this module. So here we start with just an explanation of what SNAC is, a really high-level overview of it. On the left here, we have lots of different parts of SNAC and what's covered here. I'm going to start with the administration and governance part, showing the SNAC administration. You can see here that in terms of administration, the staff is quite small. We'll note that the SNAC is a member organization. It relies a lot on the work of volunteers from its member organizations. You can see that the different governing bodies of SNAC are the Operations Committee, a Communications Working Group, an Editorial Policy and Standards Group, the Technical Infrastructure Working Group, a Reference and Research Working Group, and our SNAC School group. Moving on over to the governance section. This kind of repeats a lot, but also just explains what the structure is of the SNAC cooperative, and explaining how we have an operations committee, all the different working groups, what's expected of the working groups, and the different members of it, and what kinds of things that we do for that. And the last part of the administration and governance section is a code of conduct. And I think this is especially important because, in SNAC, we're describing entities, and especially entities that are maybe underrepresented and maybe described by people who are not themselves And we want to really take care and get the representation that we want in SNAC. I think that's a big part of why we're here today. And so we have this code of conduct, just explaining some expectations and really emphasizing a lot of work on harassment, what it constitutes, what it might look like, and how it will not be tolerated, what to do. I think we need to update a little bit here, just in terms of getting in touch with someone about it, because we don't want to contact Jerry right now at his NARA address. But I think this is just really helpful, and it works well with a lot of the editorial policies that we're going to visit in a little bit, showing how, like, just the care that can go into SNAC and things that we should be mindful of while we're working. So moving on to the membership section, here are current members of SNAC. We'll see a variety of institutions, public, private, large, and small. And if you or your institution were interested in becoming a SNAC member, here's some information for you. It goes into quite a bit about what is involved. Let's see. After this, we get to the editorial policy page. Here, there are quite a few policies that have been developed by our working group. You'll also notice that there is a proposed guide for Indigenous entity descriptions open for comments. Probably a lot of you are familiar with it. And the rest of these policies have been approved. These, as I kind of said earlier, a lot of these will make a lot more sense and be a lot more helpful once you're actually in SNAC and editing entities and creating entities. There are a few that I wanted to point out in particular, and that's the describing plantations, estates, farms, and comparable entities as corporate bodies policy. We cover this in our next module on authority control as well. And here, basically, with this policy, we recognize that plantations, which had been treated by Library of Congress as geographic headings, they really fit more as corporate bodies. They were businesses, and by establishing them as a corporate body and including them in SNAC, we're able to build relationships among all the different entities that were associated with these plantations, and this is really helpful. So this policy includes guidelines for constructing plantation name headings, and also justification for why we've done this, gives some examples and how to recognize them. We want to show the editorial ethos statement, which really kind of gets, again, into the care that we put into SNAC, and recognizing that SNAC is built around archival collections and entities represented in those collections. And we recognize that those collections are not perfect, they're not complete. Excuse me. And that we strive to do our best and to iterate and improve. Finally, I wanted to, go to the record ownership policy. And this is a very nice and brief one, just recognizing that these records are communally owned, and they can be edited by any SNAC editor. And yeah. Next is one that's very important for everyone here in this room, and that is the SNACSchool section. This has lots of resources to come back to and consult when you start creating and editing your entities. You'll especially notice there are PDFs of all of the module slides that are used in teaching today and tomorrow. And there are also some really helpful extra materials. These are some really great cheat sheets in terms of making the entities for the different types of you have your people, corporate bodies, and families, different relationship types to consult. The relationship types are a really important part of SNAC, as you'll learn, and different just really helpful um, information to have just in this one place. Um, Finally, after the snack school part, we'll get to some technical resources. Um, this is for using like the SNAC API if you're a developer, or if you want to try using OpenRefine to import information into SNAC. Also, archive space. Um, and there is now an archive space plugin. I'm pretty excited about exploring that. My institution has finally made the leap to archive space this week. So I look forward to being able to work with that and hope that it will streamline some of my workflow in terms of having entities in our collections represented in SNAC. Um, Here, if you want to learn more about different annual meetings or other events that SNAC has had, you can click through here. Also see previous newsletters, and you can learn about the history of SNAC, how it came to be, um, and I know it's really hard to have someone just like walk through a website for you, but I think one thing that we really see here is that there's just so much thought and care has been put into SNAC, and there's a really thoughtful, like comprehensive vision for what it could be, and I think the potential there is really exciting. Finally, there's some FAQs to consult. So I know that was a lot. Um, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take them. I know we've got Jerry here. He's really an expert on SNAC. Um, if not, we can move on to module 2. I just want to wait a minute. Yeah. Any questions or anything? No. Okay. All right, then I'm going to go back to sharing my screen and get into module 2.